Okay, I'm going to redo my intro. Alright, we're here with Grolnok, the Omnivore. 4-mana 3/3 Frog. Whenever a frog you control attacks, mill 3. And whenever a permanent card is put into your graveyard from your library, exile it with a croak counter. So not instants and sorceries. And then you can play lands and cast spells from cards with croak counters on them that are in exile. So you can have, if you cast something that mills 5 and you mill, it just exponentially explodes with the amount of cards that are in exile. So you'll have an uninteractable hand that could be like 15, 20, 25 cards big, and it's just a bunch of permanents. There's not a lot of spells in here. It's one of the few green cards that doesn't play rampant growth spells because you can't put croak counters on them. But there's a ton of mana rocks. I actually had to craft this today, which goes to show how few green commanders would ever care to run a signet or a talisman. But this is probably one of them. There are combos everywhere. There's the One Ring Paradox engine. There's Hullbreaker Horror with the zeros that you loop back and forth with this. And then either, I suppose, deck your opponent out with Excavator. Or my idea was, well, it wasn't, my first idea here was Aetherflux Reservoir, but they both work. Just mill your opponent out or just blow their opponent in the face with, 5 million damage. But the idea is to not play a lot of instants and sorceries. I'm still playing Wash Away and Counterspell. I don't even think I like Counterspell that much, but I'm willing to try it. I don't ever expect myself to win with Jace static ability here, where you just draw and win because you have no library. But it's still okay. It's a way to like mill slowly. You can put a croak counter on it if you mill it. You don't have to play a ton of frogs, but I am playing a few. For every frog in here, I feel like there might just be a better card that is a mill spell. So I don't have to like just swing with a frog that probably dies just to mill 3 only when this is in play. But the turn you cast it, you don't have any more mana left most of the time. So it's nice to immediately mill something. So some of these frogs let you get away with it. There's not a ton of frogs. There's more frogs to play than I'm playing. But I don't like most of them. And I want to make as little room as possible for like the funny frog things that don't work out that much in other contexts. But there's ways to turn all the frogs into mana dorks, which seem interesting. Cryptolith Rite is pretty interesting. I can like turn the frogs into mana dorks, but when you do this, it means you're not swinging with them, so you mill less, I suppose, until they get vigilance with Paradox Engine. There's cards that mill half of somebody's library, so you could look at those as what is it? Whatever the black card is that does the same thing. Glimpse the Void or something? I don't know. It's a 7-mana card. You lose half your life and you draw half your deck. When your commander is out, all of the mill half of your library cards are just that. Peer into the Abyss, I think that's what's called. So you could play those. There's like a funny giant whale that does it, and then some other things. Oh, I think it's a fish, actually. But milling half your library, I don't know. I don't know if I'm here for it. Those cards are a bit weird, and they absolutely demand that your commander is in play. Otherwise, if it gets killed in response, you just don't get anything. It's not like I even have Uro. So this keeps happening, I've noticed too, in the chat at least, is when you mill yourself, you're putting them into the exile. So stuff like Treasure Cruise or Emery just don't really work because you don't have access to the cards you've milled. You just turned them into croak cards. Emery doesn't just mill artifacts to cast because Grolnok would just eat them. So it doesn't really work out. Same with Uro and Delve stuff like Treasure Cruise. So it just doesn't really work out. But that's okay, because you're still blue-green, and you can do whatever you want anyways. That's really about it. Oh, Head Shredder does work. This will put it into play before the Croak counter, assuming you stack it correctly. And I think it automatically stacks it the right way, but I have had the manual stack thing on enabled for a bit, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Mesmeric Orb is kind of just like when this is in play, you're inevitably going to draw like 800 cards if it's left alone. So I envision that being extremely powerful with this commander, probably the strongest card in the deck when it comes to doing the thing. But that's it. Let's see what happens. According to watching my opponent do it, it looks like it did it the right way. I should say. I have Orb, but I have nothing that lets me actually cast my commander. I'm still going to keep it. I don't know. I want a game where, like, Orb is, like, in the game. Is there any reason to cast this? There's actually a few reasons to cast it. There could be, like, a Thalia or something. There's reasons to cast it, I think. Appa's pretty tame, so maybe we can get away with stuff here. I almost want to play the Orb instead of this Frog, but I don't know, this draws. I could probably still just play Cultivate Flare of Duplication, now that I'm playing this out for a little bit. We both played the same thing. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to play World Weave. I'm going to play World Weave. And I don't think I'm swinging. And I could just Mishra's Bauble. Just put it in play. Yeah, let's just cast it. I think that's fine. I'm not going to crack it, though. Until I maybe need something that I don't have. I don't have a fetch land either. I don't see a reason to turn this into a card right now. With the upwards potential of exploding in a couple turns. Out of nowhere. This is an early Appa. This does have Flash. So this is a bit interesting. They could have just waited on that. I don't know the idea. Okay, well, I'm going to do the thing. There is a 1-mana spell. Let's hope it's Ephemerate. I'd rather it be Ephemerate. But I can find out by doing this to start. This shouldn't bother Appa if it is a flicker effect. It shouldn't care at all. Okay. Afraid to wash away? Yeah, sure. Alright. That's... Yep. That is interesting. But it works. They didn't do it to my commander, which, to be fair, I'm not sure I would have either, especially with World Weave. It's just infinitely castable anyways. But it still looked kind of funny. I'm going to go straight into combat. Oh, wait. Let's do that and then do it. Yeah, I got Nykthos. Sweet. Alright, yeah, see, it does it the right way. I don't have to worry about it. Let's do Frog. Frog. Oh, I'm still in combat. I'm like, why can I not cast spells? Alright, Mesmeric Orb. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Okay. Well, I'm not doing... Oh, alright, they're over it. I mean, I'm gonna eventually explode, and I already have a ton of value here. Oh, it's exploration. Nothing like a turn 2 4-mana commander. I mean, this is just insanely gross. I don't know if I even... I can't tap it, so I guess I just actually do mill for this thing. This is just ridiculously gross. Do you think they're going to trade? Oh, I could have done the fetch land thing. I forgot. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't think they're gonna trade. I guess I just play Palantir? And that is all I can do? No, I can... Yeah, that's all I can do. Alright, let's surveil. Oh, I forgot to crack... That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Growing rights. Well, it does something. But I'm just going to mill it anyways with... I don't know. Maybe I don't mill it. Maybe they leave it on top. Or I do this. If it does get milled, it does get a croak counter on it anyways. So I guess it really wouldn't matter regardless. But I couldn't ask for a more disgusting thing to do. And I can't imagine my opponent just wins here. Probably swing at Jace. Might as well. I don't think putting me to 11 matters. Yeah, that tracks. Let's do... I guess that. Let's go into combat. Frog, frog, frog. Alright, I found Keenan. Which gives me, like, omniscience if I didn't already have it. Okay. Of course, it's on the play with a 1-mana card. Probably has to mulligan every single game for it. If they play their commander and I witness protection it, though, they're not going to feel great. What the heck is that? Oh, they took a risk and it did not pay off. Well, I don't feel bad for the Nadu player. Let's do... I can probably do green here. Yeah, I'm going to do green here and then play you and you. You missed the deck building portion. Rip skis. I should read this. Whenever a land you control... And just... Sure. Alright, so wash away? Nope. Yep, should have played around it. Opponent should have played around the have more than 2 lands of the bunch that are playable. Oh, I forgot to... shoot, it's fine. It's fine. This hasn't done anything yet. Neither is this, actually. Well, it whiffed, because of course it did. Alright, well, I have the green opener, so what do you got? I'm doing the dumb thing. Jack-o'-lantern. Okay, this is a commander I have not played against. But I'm doing the 1 into 3 on the play, so my opponent is about as far as behind as you could conceivably be in a game of Historic Brawl. Shy of, I suppose, exploration. I can play this, and then do nothing. Wait, what if I did this? Hold on. This has to be better. This has to be way better. Oh yeah, wait a minute. This tasks for 3 now? Oh, this is so gross. Oh hey, it's Kinnan. Just in time to be a card that exists. Cryptolith, right. Well, that kind of does something, right? I mean, I'm insanely far ahead, so... Yeah, Endstone is cool. I could play Endstone. I feel like card draw is not what I want, though. So that's why I ran the Vindicates instead. I'm going to play this. Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to play this. I survive very easily against a wash away right now. So... Yep. There is no wash away. Do... this. 10 mana. I mean, this is just so gross. But none of it has had to really do with my commander, but I have Gaia's... I have Omniscience. I mean, I could cast, like... I probably have 55 mana. It's just a matter of drawing something that helps me, which I currently cannot do. I can spin Kinnan. A lot, actually. Okay, they can station their commander, right? Is this station? What does that do? Okay. I feel like there's some kind of combo thing slowly happening here. That might help. Alright, let's do this. Of course, there's nothing. Let's do it again. Of course, there's nothing. Yep. That only makes sense, right? I'm going to kill their commander because it looks like it's part of a combo. Alright, it must have been part of a combo. Well, Keenan whiffed, but I don't think it matters too much. What is this? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, the double strike thing. It usually doesn't play spells. It just goes into creatures really fast. So we can play that. No, wait. We go land. This thing. Talisman. Molt Tender? Oh, green, you're so gross. You're so gross. You're so gross. Oh, opponent, what happened? Oh, no. I had Omniscience turn 3? This is so stupid. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm not gonna... I refuse to watch a Rofellos player take more than 2 seconds. I can't emotionally handle it right now. I can't do it. I can't. I can't do it. There's a lot to think about. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. More power to him. I gotta get out of there. I'm just gonna get upset. I gotta run for my own spiritual safety. Well, always milling. Let's play that. This only hits creatures, right? Yeah. Boop. What does this do? What does this do? Becomes tapped, make you gain a life and draw a card. Okay. We're gonna play this. Let's get rid of you. Play... This is a frog. This is better, but this is part of what we're trying to do every time. Linorels is... I mean, it is definitively better here, but... We're going with the frog. What does that do? Okay. I'm gonna cast... the... What do I do here? I think I'm gonna... do this. Land is fine. We're gonna play this and Pond Prophet. I want to get rid of the thing that's tapping easily. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I should have got rid of the creature. Kept the land. It was a mistake. Okay, never mind. I had it anyways. I'm not going to Amara. That I want to do it on their commander. I don't think I care about 1/1s. They could have swung? Maybe not. Alright. Well, I doubt there's Mana Tithe. I have to do this pre-combat, or I should do it pre-combat. This is an insect, yeah. I mean, they're pretty free blocks. No, you can kill the 1/1. Okay, they're playing around stuff, which is probably reasonable. They're just not killing the Pond Prophet. Yeah, they don't want to bump into anything and have this die, which is fair, but I don't have anything that would cause that. Frog. Oh, is this actually going to tap for more than, like, 1? World first? Okay. Or rather, it has the capacity to do as such. I made a mistake? What'd I do? I don't know what I did. I said oops. Oh, okay. So we mill. Oh, okay. That worked out. It doesn't really seem like I made a mistake. I mean, you played a sweeper in your green-white creature deck, so I think one of us made a mistake. I don't think it was me. Let's play this. They gave a tap trigger to a vigilance creature? Oh, is that what they said? Oops, I see. That doesn't actually stop my commander, because I can still swing with this. Let's play our commander. Yep. And then Pick up the... Oh, I forgot to tap it first. Whoops. That's fine. We'll live. Yeah, I mean, we came here to do this. I don't need the tutu alive. I came here to do this thing, and I'm going to do it. And that's it. Alright, well, I can sack my commander to, quote-unquote, look at 3 cards, and I can do that repeatedly because of exploration. But that's not really where we want to be. Okay, they swung. What does that mean? I don't know. Green-white ninjutsu? Oh, I see. It does stuff. Nothing? Okay. Well, I'm gonna swing with it. I mean, you can kill it all you want. I just want my croak cards. Feel have damage too. Okay, now I don't get them, but I do still mill anyways, which is unfortunate. There's really not much playing around that, I don't think. Did I mill anything impactful? Of course I did, right? Of course I did. Of course I milled something impactful. Of course I did. I'm not gonna copy that with this. More likely to copy something else. Alright, I'm gonna blow up this thing, I guess. And that is all she wrote. Okay. Let's play Commander again. I'll lead with this. Play Commander. Play land. Land. Maybe loot away this frog. World Weave. I don't think we need World Weave given the situation here. One would argue. Let's put the equipment here. And I'm not going to sculpting steal any of this because I think I'm just ahead and I don't have to sculpting steal. So, alright, we have a pretty clean back and forth here. I am technically totally out of stuff, and the one time I died in mill, I lost access to that thing, which would have probably won the game. Nothing at all. Okay. There's not much I can do to stop my commander from dying mid-mill, as far as I'm aware. Alright. I'm not here to play around anything, so... Yep, go figure. Command zone, yep. Okay, that was safe. That was also safe. I didn't lose any crazy cards. They can't really block these, though. Oh. Okay, well. Sure. Let's do this. That's another frog. I guess I will just draw it and cast it. Right? Like, how do I not do that? I can also simply draw crazy cards at this point. I don't have to just croak into them. I'm not going to play my commander because I don't have to. That can go away. Yeah, I don't have to play my commander. I can just play it on the turn in which I am interested in actually legitimately swinging. That is a 3/3 forever. Oh, hey, Mutavault and stuff. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, my opponent can just keep doing whatever it is they're trying to do, and eventually I'm just going to pull ahead. I don't think they ever even tapped this. I don't think I like this. Maybe I do because of this. I don't know. Discard spell? Haven't seen one of those. Nope, it's just the same thing we've seen all day today, forever. Should I be surprised? What is reading burgeoning? Interesting. Stifle? Tails End? No way. You don't Tails End burgeoning. Come on. I haven't seen that yet. Oopsie doopsie? Order lull? That was a bit of an order lull. I want to land. I want to play this and leave up spaghetti away. I want to play this, and I think crop rotation into arid thingy. That's why I put it in the deck for these moments. I'm not going to get Cavernous Souls. I'm not going to get Cavernous Souls here. Oh, I get to pick up a fetch land too. That's actually kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it lets me get Breeding Pool without losing 2 life. Well, that was neat. Mutavault Explorer? Do I own Mutavault Explorer? Actually not sure if I own it. I might. Oh, I just drew it anyways. Oh, beautiful. Just drew it. Just draw the cards. It's so obvious. I mean, the only thing realistically was wash away anyways, which I'd say is not terribly likely. But you never know. Do I care about this? Protection from instant sorceries, treasure token, and the next spell is copied. That doesn't really seem like a CODIS effect, other than the protection part, so I'm not terribly concerned with that. And I could still just play this, but I really want to use it. Actually, I can't use it. I have to exile a creature. Okay, I can't use it anyways. I would want to exile the evasive thing CODIS does. Okay. Yep, take action. Well, I'm gonna play this and just start drawing cards. Good old damnation. I will play this here. Yep. Nice damnation. I'd be ashamed if it didn't matter. This was an order lull. I don't think in the long run it mattered, but they were supposed to do that in the opposite order. It is almost always an auto win when I do it, so I'm gonna trust my opponent that there's some kind of win when you're on the play with a 1 and 3. I wonder if I should make a video saying, like, you shouldn't play this format unless you have green. I'm curious. I would like to see definitive win rates of non-green commanders. I feel like this is really a green format, whereas Legacy is like a blue format. Like, how is this... Like, is there anything in the game better than this? Because I don't think so. This is just better than Ragavan, actually, at least like this specifically. I mean, mono blue can counter lock your opponent, right? But maybe that's not good enough against a sizable chunk of the field. I don't know. Can you counter stuff and win against Rofellos. Frog. And there's also Cavernous Souls, which would turn off the counter spells anyways, I guess. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Well, that was miserable. Wow. I think it was like the first time I only exiled one card. Yikes. I guess I'll do this. Yep, we'll just mill it. It just gets croaked. They have a wizard? Oh, I was about to say, you don't have a wizard. They know of these. Alright, none of that is terribly exciting. Let's play land. Play you. I guess I will play the Lightning Greaves. There's a chance it matters. Put that there. And there's nothing else to do. So. Ooh, the normal Solemn Simulacrum. Love it. Can you... Yeah, I was about to say, this works on my opponent's turn too, right? That is another frog. It does die to Simulacrum, which is a bit annoying. But I'm going to say that probably doesn't matter enough for me to not do it anyways. Should I think about this more? I think I should. Oh yeah, okay, hold on. This has to be like... Okay, I almost missed the fact that I could do what I just did. Oh, this is a land! No! Kind of annoying. Green. 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 Blue. Green. Roaming Throne, hello. Hello there. Alright. Combat. Oh, I forgot to put Lightning Greaves on the Roaming Throne. Okay, whoops. I think it is exceedingly unlikely I even pass a turn back here, but we'll see. I'm going to take that. I'm going to let it auto order so I don't have to do all this. I'm going to trust it to do it. I found the One Ring, which I don't think my opponent cares about anyways, but I did find it. Oh, we have Lightning Greaves. This has to be over. Yeah, we can just give the mana haste. We basically have Omniscience right now. Yeah, it's over. It's actually 100% over. Okay. Yeah. So, while I made some oopsies, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. I'm just going to QQ spam. Well, they haven't given up yet, but this should be 100% to win. Let's play random land. Maybe opponents like me, they just want to see this deck do something. Fabricate. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I'm just looking for whatchamacallit. I gotta be careful. The hedge with Ice Till can actually kill me. I gotta actually be genuinely careful. This is a spot where the Jace would be like the easy I win the game card to have. But I don't know if that's gonna matter. Well, that's colorless. I'm not gonna exile anything. Opponent's not giving up, so looks like we will have to pass at some point here. I don't need more mana. Do I have a counterspell? Can I draw into a counterspell? I have one counterspell. I think I do, at least. Okay, well, I passed the turn. If they go land River's Rebuke... Oh, they can't, because you can't target me. You can't target me. Discard 6 cards. Oh, boy. Does it matter? From your library? Okay, we can get rid of all these lands. The hedge could just deck me out, and I gotta be careful. What are we waiting... Like, what was the idea on my opponent's turn that made them not concede? Okay, you're good. I mean, I'm here to see whatever it's going on. That certainly isn't it. They gain 6 life, right? Or is it just draw 2? They gain 6? Alright, well that wasn't Cyclonic Rift. I don't think they're dead, though. I don't think they're dead. I need to exile this Ice Till Explorer. Do I have a colorless card? I do. Okay. Let's exile... Wait, where is it? There you are. Don't want that to be a problem. Okay, now we can sort of just do whatever we want. I don't think I can find lethal. 2, 4, 5, so I could get rid of that. 1, 2. There's no lethal in play. It's kind of interesting to have someone make me go through it all. I normally don't see that. But I commend them. That's why I'm not tapping the One Ring. I'll keep colorless cards in my hand. I can tap the One Ring once, if I can find it. I can tap it once here. I can no longer swing with frogs, so I gotta exile my commander so I don't accidentally lose the game, because that would make me lose the game. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we can just swing, because there's nothing else to do. I can spin Keenan to get my creatures out of my deck. I can flip that as well, so we can actually move before I forget. Let's put that on something. This is a 2/3. Alright, we can go there. Alright, let's start spinning. Decline. Unless it matters, there's no reason for me to put it in play. Spark Double. That can be another Ujin? No, it can be Meteor Golem, I guess. Just to get the blocker out of the way. Spin again. Sure. As long as it doesn't make me lose. Sure. Pick up, nothing. Pick up nothing. Actually, now I'll move that here with the Lightning Greaves. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Only 24 damage. It is not at all likely I find more damage than that. Badger Mole Cub is 2 more damage? 1 more damage? Oh, it doesn't untap, right? It's a land. I already did that with Mutavault. Okay, so we're just going to pass. Or rather, we're going to swing at our opponent for that much damage. Oh, it was lethal. It was... I did find lethal. Okay. That's super funny. They can't mill with Palantir regardless, especially if I cast Brainstorm. So they would have to just let me draw. But if they did, let's say Palantir was on like 5 and I build a bunch of cards. This is a very good example. I'm kind of glad this finally happened where someone like didn't concede. And you can see I have no combo other than drawing my whole deck and having infinite mana. But that's all you need. You don't need Grape Shot. You just win with this nonsense. I'm so far ahead, there's almost nothing my opponent could do. Cyclonic Rift doesn't save them, right? I mean, I have 13 turns to kill them with Omniscience through Cyclonic Rift. You don't need Grape Shot. I don't need Aetherflux Reservoir, Hullbreaker, Horror, Bounce, Spam, Brain Freeze, Loops. I'm just going to win with a pile of silly things when you cast your entire deck at the same time. It's just too much. I can also recast, and I probably would do this right now, is just give myself protection again to dodge River's Rebuke. It doesn't stop Cyclonic Rift, but I can continuously do this too, because all they can do is bounce. The only cards that save them are bounce spells. So, that's another thing. The only thing my opponent could possibly have is Cyclonic Rift. Like, that's the only card. There's no other card in a mono blue deck that does anything to actually win from here. Especially if I take protection and then infinite turn looping still wouldn't save them because they'd have to pass at some point. So it's you just don't need some kind of Aetherflux Reservoir combo. You're just gonna win like this. It takes time though, but it's fun. Now it is B. Let's go ahead and get Hedge Maze. Actually, a land is fine. I want to make a land drop every turn. The Pizza Cutter one is so funny. This stops the Croak counters, so we don't have Croak counters. Let's do this. We just have to play the blue-green thing instead. Until I inevitably find a way around it, I guess. I think I have Boseiju in here. Does Jace have a reasonable thing he does? Yeah. What does this take? This takes the Transformer. It shouldn't take the Elvish Mystic. What is the total? 3? Okay. Okay. Rest in Peace is funny. It is funny. A little too late for that one to matter. I could just simply cast this. It's the most likely scenario. Wait a minute. Yeah, right? I can wait. I can wait. See what happens. I'm pretty sure Rest in Peace stops this, but I suppose I don't know definitively if it does. When it gets rid of Novice Inspector. That was probably a good card, but we shall see. Oh, I'll enjoy it. Or maybe I won't, who knows. We shall see. Pass. I do have Counterspell. I would never counter that anyways. I don't think my commander matters. Kind of surprised they did that. Upheaval? Is that a card? Mesmeric Orb. Well, that's interesting, I guess. Let's play... We could just play Mesmeric Orb. Can I outmill my opponent? With the Jace, I can? With the Jace, I can. I don't have to play it right now. I really don't want to remove that, so we're just going to leave it up. They messed up their Cavernous Souls. Oops. I don't know, well, Nice rest in peace. I'd be ashamed if it didn't matter. It's kind of funny, too, because I think we're just chilling still, and I can't counter it again. So they could actually just get this in play, and it can be a legitimate problem. I don't think this game was over, but my opponent put themselves in an emotionally crippling position by being upset at Lane Morels and never emotionally recovered. Yeah, you gotta read your creature types. This is the destroy everything? No, it's not. I'm gonna play Faceless here. I would have played the... Oh, I can't. I guess there's more elves than there's frogs in my deck, which is really funny to me. And apparently there's a removal spell. Amazing. Oh, is it reprieve? Oh, maybe there isn't anything. I'm just tripping. Okay. Generic dinosaur. Utopia Sprawl. Blue. I guess Hedge Maze? No, we can do this first. World Weave. I already played a land. Oh, I guess I didn't. Okay. I mean, this is okay. I'm not going to exile Ujin to that, because I want to actually cast Ujin next turn. And I don't think I have to swing with either of these. I could have, but we have this set up, so I can just do whatever. Well, it's the best commander in their bunch, right there. That doesn't matter. It should take World Weave. You should not target a creature. Correct. I feel like most people would actually target a creature, so that's nice to see. Trade. Not trying to croak. Let's do this, because it's an exceedingly good idea to stop that card. Let's do this. I'm gonna get the one ring, and I'm not gonna swing. I have no idea what this is. Okay, of course it kills Ujin. Go figure. Well, now I'm in trouble. Silly me. This has to blow up the Hedge Maze. No, you can't blow up the World Weave. This is like one of the only cards ever that would be good here. It's like actually insanely good here. There's nothing I can do. Well, this kills it, but I mean the damage is done, so... Unbelievable. Unbelievable, I just drew that. Okay. Unbelievable. That's just insane. Alright, so I play it first. They need a way to do something about it. Oh, come on. No, there's no way. Okay, I was about to say I was going to get upset. There's no way. I cannot believe I just drew that. So, land. I didn't need more mana rocks. I could have stopped at the third one. More doesn't. It just makes it faster. But they don't like. I don't need more. I'm gonna find the thing that gives me a new ring so I don't lose. Does Keenan help? I guess Keenan does make it faster. Even more faster or whatever. I think I should QQ. I'm not gonna just rely on hoping I... Yeah, I'm just gonna hit QQ. Let's play... You... If I scream the Norn, you think so? Do I have it in my hand? Oh, I do. Fair enough. It doesn't really matter, though. Doesn't really matter. But I guess we can do it. I can stop tapping the Simic Signet. I have enough mana to spend on my entire deck. I don't need more mana. Okay. Why did they not... Oh, that's why. There's nothing to be done about that? I don't think. Spark Double. Roaming Throne? Oh, wait, no. This get wrecked. Nice. Alright, apparently they did highly value Elesh Norn, but I'm going to be 100% real with you. If I didn't do this, I still win. That just doesn't matter. I have so much going on, and I'm pretty sure I can 100% also get... Yeah, I can get multiple counterspells into my hand and pass, so there's just no conceivable way they can do anything. Well, I have some mana. Let's get Hedge Maze. Hedgies. Keep anything that makes stuff. That's fine. Herp Derp 1 drop. Let's go there, do this. Say blue or green. Probably blue. I don't need a bajillion green, so let's do that. Oh yes, isn't it great? Do I have a land in my graveyard? I do. Can it find a blue-green card? Can I play this? Yeah. I gotta hold priority though. Actually, I have to hold priority so I don't accidentally mill Breeding Pool and then lose a game. Because I would lose a game if I did. One, two, three, four, five. Vivian Reed? Oh, well. Go figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy lands. I don't even know if this taps. No, it doesn't matter if I crack this or not. Doesn't matter. Look at the top card. Cast creatures from the top. Tap 2 creatures. Reveal... Okay. Well, I'm going to take out the Vorin Collects so I can play the game later. Oh, I shouldn't have cracked that. I gotta stop doing that. I mean, I could just cast Fabricate right now. Yeah, maybe cracking it's fine. And to just grab the One Ring. Okay, well, there you go. I did stuff. Elodamri is not scarier, no. It is just random nonsense. Vorinclex is stopping me from playing the game. Elodamri has the capacity to do nothing. Which, of course, it didn't do nothing, because why would it? But... Oh, it can blow up lands? Oh, well, that's... kind of gross. I'm gonna kill it now. Okay. One ring? That was a good draw. I can stop the Tyrant and just continuously gamble that my opponent doesn't find what exactly they need. And I guess I'll just cast the Frog. Wow. Alright, get wrecked. Get absolutely dunked on. Beautiful. I beat a Rofellos that had 5 million mana and an answer to my removal spell. They know their next card, I think, because of Eladamri. So it must have been, like, bad. And they know this doesn't do anything. So I would probably get another turn. And then, well, I mean, there's not much they could do past the One Ring anyways, so I'd probably always get another turn. And then just do this. I mean, this is exactly what Rofellos wants to be doing. So it's kind of crazy. Cool. Oh, it's another deck that isn't green. That's pretty cool. I have nothing, and they're on the draw. Play. Of course, the aggro deck's on the play. Only makes sense. Alright, that works. That works. Works better than it doesn't. Oh, looks like there's a 0-mana card. Is it Solitude? Yep. I don't think it can be anything else. Like, at all. I think it has to be Solitude. Okay. So, we play Roaming Throne? I really don't want to play Roaming Throne, actually. Maybe I'm not playing Roaming Throne. Yeah, I'm not playing it. I want them to tap out so they can't... Oh, that's huge. Oh, that was amazing. Okay. I'll play the one that doesn't deal damage to me. I want this Solitude. Ah, play the Solitude! Vote it! Play the Solitude, please. Alright, whatever. We're doing things that my opponent probably doesn't want me to be doing, while also still playing around a Solitude, so I'll take it. Alright, well that gets rid of the aura, but it does kill the Felia, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we did it. We actually did it. Nice. I actually did it. I got the Solitude out. Beautiful. Okay, so now we play Roaming Throne? No, we play this because I have the whatever this is. Right? Yeah, and then surely they don't have a 1-mana removal spell. I'll keep that on top and get rid of these 3. Excuse me, these 5. I don't think I can get to that counter spell though. I can play this. Do I play the fetch land? No, I think I really do kind of want the counterspell. It might end up mattering. Anthem ruined their stuff. Oh, come on, really? Oh, I'm just losing to MH3 cards. Literally, just MH3 the deck. Okay. You got it. Well, counterspell is completely useless now. Typical. I guess it does remove their Commander's text box. I think I should probably still keep the counterspell anyways. Whatever. It probably doesn't matter. Game's just probably 100% over. That doesn't matter. I just need too much mana here. Do they have a protection spell? What is going on over there? Mana Tithe? Like, what it... I don't... What is going on? With the second blocker, it would be actually insane if I was to turn this around here. Opponent has had just like an excellent show of it here, so... I think this is slightly better, because whatever I play is chumping anyways. And yeah, I can't play anything else. That kind of matters. Sort of. Wait a minute. I have to let it resolve. I have to let it resolve. Otherwise the fear of missing out kills me, so... I just have to let that resolve. Okay, best bet is to swing with both. That is my best bet. Just like last time. I need more cards. I need to see as many things as possible. I don't have a choice. Meteor Golem's okay? I kind of have to kill the fear of missing out, because if it turns itself on, I do sort of just lose. I still feel like there's a spell in their hand they're just not casting for some reason. It looks like it's a Mana Tithe. I'm going to say it's a Mana Tithe. Okay, I have to kill this. There's no choice. You... You... There's no playing around Mana Tithe? No, not really. I can play this first? And then play a creature? And I guess I could just let this get Mana Tithe, because that's the best it's going to do anyways? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Sure. Same scenario as last time. Oh wait, no, they have a thing that's a problem. I have to get rid of it first. Are they dead if I just do this? 8, 12, 13, 14, 15? No. I have to get that out of the way, unfortunately. We have a spot where we swing with both again. It seems just ridiculous to me to not play both of these. No, they have... It's. I think it's 100% Mana Tithe, so I'm not playing into it. I could have played into it anyways, but I'm just not doing that. This has a cast trigger if they mana tithe it. So I still exile something. But then that's all I do when I die, so I can't do that. Okay. So land. Three tree city. Frog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't cast Ujin, I'd die. Play this. The 3 tree city. No, they have mana tithe. I can't cast Ujin. I don't know how many times I have to say mana tithe is in my opponent's hand, but mana tithe is in my opponent's hand. They have mana tithe. Let's do. This costs 2 to activate, so it doesn't actually net me mana. Okay. I'm going to play around mana tithe like I should. Okay. Still dead to a lot of cards on the top of my opponent's deck. We did it! Itch me to. I wish I could confirm it was mana tithe, but it's 100% mana tithe. If I cast Ujin, they mana tithe it, and then I lose on the spot because I don't have anything else I can do. 3 Tree City almost gave me enough mana, but it didn't. All right, I actually did beat the MH3 opener. Look at that. I actually beat it. I think I was still going to be fine if they had slightly more Arabella triggers, because I could block way easier, and this wouldn't have its third or second ability for more of these triggers. So I think it makes sense to level it up here. You might as well make the few creatures you have way scarier. But, yeah, I really do think I played around Mana Tithe, and I think that was impactful. I think that was probably ended up being, after I barely stabilized, the most impactful thing was doing that. So really nice. Okay, it was not looking good though. It was not looking good. MH3 opener, and there's a bunch of lethal things they could top deck as well. So the white flare, no, it wasn't, because they were only holding priority every time I was trying to cast something. It was not being held at any other point. Especially after, like, you know how there was another game we knew Solitude. See, this is why I say you have to pay attention when priority's held. I actually played around Solitude and Mana Tithe because I could pick up what was happening, because the game holds priority at certain points. Once the Solitude was out of the way, the priority was no longer being held at all times like a Flare would hold it, just like Solitude. So it wasn't a Flare. It was it has to be Mana Tithe. I don't know what else it could be, but it was only a thing that mattered when I had something on the stack, and it was also something my opponent didn't instantly yield through. So they knew it was something that was relevant upon casting something. We also already saw Reprieve cast, so it couldn't have been that. We had 100% perfect information, unless it's a card that is exceedingly not played that much. I'm pretty sure we knew exactly what was going on. So it couldn't have been Flare. It couldn't have been Flare. The Solitude could have been Flare. I don't think Arabella plays Flare, but I guess it could play Flare. Either way, very tight game. Very good game there. I'm more impressed with myself that I beat the MH3 opener than I am that I had the reads. But yeah, if I went for Ujin at exactly 7, they Mana Tithe it. I vindicate one of their things, and the other one kills me. So that doesn't work. It had to, and there's no reason to play into it if I have another line. Swinging with this and this, I think, ended up being a good idea as well. I think, just to have more access to things, because if I lose either of these, I'm in probably a significant amount of trouble. So I think we just played that really well, and we played around the things, and I forced the Solitude out at a weird time. That's why I triple blocked the Felia. Yeah, I think I just played it well. I don't know. I think we just played it well there. All right. So it was chained to the rocks. Yeah. All right. So Grolnok is actually very scary when you do the Grolnok thing. It's like super scary. You don't really need a bunch of frogs to have it do anything. In fact, you really don't even need... One could argue you don't need any frogs at all, because it triggers when it swings, and you can just play things that don't have to die in combat or be like funny random frog cards and just play this. Right? Or stuff like this. I think I said this in the beginning, but if you mill yourself for any reason, the entire process of milling, the reason you're doing that is for this. So delve cards and Emery and all that stuff that cares about your graveyard, Snapcaster Mage, you're not playing those because you're trying to put croak counters on them. You're not trying to keep them in the graveyard. There is draw discard, which doesn't go to the graveyard or get croak counters. So something like the whatever that mummified Amonkhet thing is, that it comes back. You draw and discard equal to its power, and it comes back with mummy thing. I can't remember the name. Unearth. No, whatever. You know what I mean. So you could play stuff like that to draw and discard for your looting stuff and finding fuel for the graveyard, but that just doesn't really matter to me. I wasn't really playing this because it has an effect. It's a frog that has the upside of being a naturalize, so that's kind of okay, but it's hard to put creatures in my graveyard, but it's not that difficult if something just simply dies and then Vandal works. But there were plenty of times it didn't do anything, but there's sometimes it actually did. So I'd say it's more than worth it to have that in here. But this is a cool commander. It's a cool commander. I'm actually kind of surprised I don't see more of it, other than the fact that you have to... It is a bit vulnerable, I suppose. There's now the blue-red one. When it enters, you get a Rite of Flame immediately. You get nothing when you cast this. But you have blue and green, right? So you're kind of in, the best thing. And it didn't feel like I had to immediately go for this. You can cast ramp spells and funny frogs and then cast this and leave up mana every time you want to cast it. You could just play a couple frogs sometimes and then play this tap out, swing with the frogs, get some value or whatever. It didn't even feel like I was immediately losing upon being blown out by Lightning Bolt. I swing with 3 frogs, mill 9, this dies, I get nothing. I just milled 9 cards, and I felt like I was still in the game, right? Whereas cards that normally like this demand all this kind of funny setup and don't do anything upon immediately resolving sometimes. Play 4-mana 3/3, has no text on it past the turn, has no text till next turn is kind of worst case scenario in this format. But it, again, because it's green, you can just sort of get away with that and then next turn try again or whatever. It's like Rofellos. If it dies, Rofellos is plan A, but you can easily build it so your entire deck is also just basically plan A anyways without it. And this felt like that was doing it, which is really nice. Also, the counter spells actually mattered a few times, and I can't put croak counters on them. I took out Frilled Mystic, which is the one you can put croak counters on, and Mystic Snake, which is a mythic. I'm not going to craft it for this. I ended up actually taking out Frilled Mystic because it felt like it wasn't working. 4 mana for a counterspell is kind of asking for a lot, especially if you're trying to also do anything else with your commander. So it's, it's. But yeah, so One Ring Paradox Engine. I think it finally happened where I had a game and it was the reason I always say you shouldn't play funny win more cards. A lot of the times, even the quote-unquote payoff card like Grape Shot, you just do this and you're going to win. You don't need Jace. You don't need Laboratory Maniac, Thassa's Oracle. This will just win with the mana rocks. You're just going to eventually find something that wins. Sometimes maybe not, but 99% of the time you will. There's so many different lines you can have to even just keep yourself alive against whatever remaining things are in the game that could stop you from losing, like just making another copy of the One Ring so it doesn't kill you. or give you protection from cyclonic, or not rift, River's Rebuke, or something like that, or lethal damage or something. You could play Eldrazi. I kept thinking about playing Ulamog. You can play the 10 or 11 mana one. The 11 mana one is maybe more satisfying to swing with, but the 10 mana one is a lot more scary to, like, cast. But I think you could put him in there. The shuffle trigger, you can order it so you don't lose excuse me, any of the cards that you just milled. So you can trigger the shuffle after you've put a croak counter on it, which is nice. At least I'm 100% certain it works that way. I am. I didn't need to test that. It absolutely does work that way. I didn't play an Ulamog, but if it were to shuffle back in, you can absolutely exile it first. You'd lose the rest of your graveyard, I guess. But again, we're not really concerned about that, outside of maybe Ice Till Explorer, but even then, not really. There's just things in here that become insanely terrifying once your commander's in play, like Ice Till Explorer, or I suppose even Head Shredder actually is another one. They just become huge problems. I was a bit surprised at how good these were. What is it, that one and this one? I think those are the only two. Yeah, like the Gaia's Cradle on a stick, and the Gaia's Cradle after you already have Gaia's Cradle amounts of creatures. They're kind of cool, but I was a little light. I only had 24 creatures, right? That's like, what, 1/4 of the deck is creatures, so it's a little light, but it still felt like if I ever really untapped with them, I am in an insanely good spot, right? But that applies to a lot of things already, so maybe these could just be something else. I was talking about Flare of Cultivation and just simply Cultivate instead. And maybe for this one, because the top part of it, when you try to find a creature on the top, is like not terribly likely. But these could just be Flare and Cultivate, and that's just reasonable to me, because you can still, like... Actually, now this is something I'm not 100% certain about, but I don't know if Omens are castable with a Croak counter. So, I don't know. Like, if it's in exile, I'm pretty sure I can cast it, but maybe not because it says permanence. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It is exiled as a permanent, but after the fact, I think you can cast either side, but that I don't know. I'm not super convinced, but even still, I do kind of prefer it instead of Itlamok, and this was okay. It was okay. Treasure Hunt combo. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll look into it. It could just be Cultivate or Flare of Cultivation. There's plenty of spots where, like, I'm happy to just sacrifice a frog to that, especially if, like, I've already swung with it and it survived the attack and stuff, but it is also triple green, right? It's nice for Nykthos. It's, like, really nice for Nykthos. Which, was I running Nykthos? Oh, yeah, I was. Okay. It was not just 3 Tree City. This could just be a forest, though. I didn't have critical mass of frogs, but I think the upside is worth it, because they don't necessarily... It's hard to get color screwed in a green deck, and it's even more difficult when you're almost essentially mono green. It's a little difficult to get color screwed. I did sort of like the Jace. It's kind of just like another thing like Ice Till that starts becoming a problem if your commander's in play. And it's an okay draw engine outside of that as well, I suppose. But I did take out the static effect Laboratory Maniac one. Triple blue's a little steep. And once I've decked out, I think the game is... I think someone's already going to win anyways. I like Thought Scour. It's cool to play that. There's probably more of this to play in the game. And whatever this is doing, again, could just be probably the less this, more this. But to be fair, I didn't have many frogs by the end of it. And this one's fine. I wouldn't even take out Poison Dart Frog. It's better as a mana dork than a frog attacking. Same with this one. And I actually didn't start with this. I forgot it existed. This is fine too. It's a ramp spell. I actually did like World Weave. I did like it, which means probably people who like this like it even more than me, because I guarantee you most people have more than 24, 25 creatures in their deck when they're playing a commander like this. But it doesn't necessarily storm off, but it's certainly fine. It sees so many cards, you're going to feel like you've just stormed off with like something like Galvanic Relay, and then have next turn be very scary. And you do need this in play to cast the Croak cards, which is really tragic, but it is what it is. You can't have everything. I guess Lightning Greaves was okay, especially in spots where like giving a Mana Dork haste was actually kind of nice. So that, well, that's mostly only with Paradox Engine, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I like this. It's a cool commander. I liked the funny Vindicates I put in. I never got the End Stone to do anything. I won games where I felt like I had absolutely no business turning them around and winning, but I did, and it happened multiple times. It's usually like a 1 per session thing, but it happened like 5 times where like I was clearly losing, and then I suddenly wasn't. So that happened. But I like this a lot. There's definitely some things I could change to make it a little bit more interesting. The Cryptolith Rite maybe okay. It's kind of weird to give your mana, your frogs tap for mana when you like want to actually swing with them. So I did find that strange, and it was strange. The cards that when I played against this, I feel like I was right about the things my opponent in that one matchup when they were playing this yesterday had things I just didn't like. I did not like Hullbreaker Horror with the 0 mana artifact loop and the excavation thing where you mill 2 every time you cast a historic card. I just didn't like any of that. I didn't like Aetherflux Reservoir. I just didn't like any of those kinds of cards in here. I didn't like the Cellar, or whatever it was, the Bat. I don't even know what it's called. We'll see. Okay, yeah, I just missed it. I kept staring at it, apparently, in the list, and I kept overlooking it. But this thing, like, yeah, okay. It's kind of neat. You mill, like, 15 cards, let's say. Well, I mean, let's be realistic. You mill 3 to 6 cards, 3 or 6 on average, and you might hit some creatures and get some 1/1 bats. I don't really care about that. It does make Cryptolith Rite much better, because then you can tap the bats and do something meaningful with them. You could turn the bats into all creature types with that Maskwood Nexus thing or whatever. It turns all creatures into whatever type you want. But playing into the frog thing didn't really feel like the best thing to do, and is probably the first thing to avoid if there's just better ways of going about it. Unless, of course, you simply like playing frogs. More power to you. Nothing wrong with playing goats, right? So this is just not something I like. It's cool, though, especially when it runs out of control. It's kind of neat. There's really not many decks at all. This might be the only one that could reasonably play it. But it's cool. It's neat if you want. There's some games where it could matter significantly, I suppose. But I'm not feeling it. So, same with this. Not really feeling like this was right. It does turn on the things that don't tap for mana into things that tap for mana, and that is almost always better than just swinging with them, or whatever, quote-unquote, whatever else the card was doing, right? Like, why not turn your Ice-Till Explorer into a Birds of Paradise on top of it being Ice-Till Explorer still? But certain things, not crazy. Keenan, with the low creature count, was kind of awkward, but it's still just another Badgermole Cub, and there's no way I'm not playing this with so many Mana Dorks. You could probably play a ton more Mana Dorks instead of Mana Rocks if you wanted to. it would make you more vulnerable to, I guess, sweepers and stuff. But I think that's reasonable. To be completely honest, this probably could just be another Mana Dork or Mana Rock itself, because it gives other creatures, it gives other things the ability to tap, but it itself does not. So let's say you cast this. Actually, I did not think about this, but if you cast this and you have one creature that already tapped for mana, it doesn't do anything. If you have one that didn't tap for mana, it was essentially Arcane Signet, right? This just becomes an Arcane Signet at the expense of a different card. Ideally not a frog that you're trying to swing with. If you have two creatures that don't tap for mana, then it's mana neutral the turn you cast it, and then, it generates a bunch of mana later. But without haste, it's a little bit less exciting. And if you have no creatures, this is like, what are we doing? It doesn't do anything itself. So this probably could just be at the very least, almost on average, arguably the same as just a Mana Rock on average, especially with my creature count. But I think most people who like this kind of deck probably have like 55 creatures. That's just how I feel people playing this would build it. But knowing me, I play as few creatures as possible all the time. So, not at its best. I do own this on paper. I think it used to be like $1. I think it's like $20 now. But I have it in a fungus deck. But every time I go to cast it, it's essentially like you cast it and suddenly have 18 mana because all of my saprolings tap for like 5 million. Something like Sprout Swarm just explode. Well, Sprout Swarm is a self-feedback loop. Not the best example, but you get what I mean. So I think I can and will replace that. I can do it right now, but I can replace that with something that is probably a better idea. So I should have thought about that more, but there's the thinking line. You can put more giant expensive things in here, like Ulamog, already talked about that. The this was free enough to just play, because blue-green, you can just play whatever you want in the mana base. I think this is fine, right? You have the upward potential of finding all of these things and putting them under it, which I liked. And I think that's about it. I think the weakest part of this deck was just the frogs, and the frogs I did not play, I'm not a great fan of, so yeah, I would probably, if I play this again, find a way to just, like, stubbornly play no frogs and just play more versions of this and, was Otherworldly Gaze. Stuff like this was nice. I normally don't like this. I think I was talking about this, actually, I think I was talking about it yesterday. I don't like Stitcher's Supplier effects, where you just, like, incidentally mill yourself, and sometimes those cards matter, which is why I really don't like Grist. It's, like, one of my least favorite commanders that's probably popular, because I don't like randomly milling, and sometimes those cards are good, but you're not, like, milling a specific kind of thing all the time. But in this deck, everything you mill, you can get access to. Almost everything, except the instants and sorceries, of which there were very, very few. Very few. So, like, this is great. And also, you can mill this and still cast it without a croak counter, because it's got flashback. So, like, this is just nice. In this deck, this, honestly, on average, is a legitimate Ancestral Recall, because it will put 3 croak counters a lot of the time, even though they're lands or whatever. But I mean, Ancestral Recall could also just simply draw 3 lands. But it is giving access to 3 cards on average. And with this, you can actually just keep the spell on top, if there is one, and then just croak the rest of it. So sometimes this is a 2 mana draw 5. Like, this sometimes is actually insane. On average, it is insane. All of this assuming your commander's in play, right? It's not like you play at turn 2 and it was a 2 mana draw 5 or something. But yeah, I did see, speaking of a 2 mana draw 5, I saw my first standstill today. And as a green deck, I did my best ignore everything impression and ignored it. So my opponent had a 2 mana draw 3. It was cool to see. Have never seen a standstill cast. But yeah, alright. For the sake of not rambling too much, I really, really like this commander. It's kind of neat. It doesn't feel like you lose when it dies. You can rebuild when you get hit with a sweeper because green can do anything it wants. And this format is like 90% green at this point. It feels like more and more and more of my opponents are almost always green. I'm even seeing people who aren't playing green like emote spam me more because I had a green opener and they just give up really fast. It's like Ragavan all over again. This is as Legacy is to blue, this format is to green through and through. It's kind of crazy. Like this card, like how is this allowed in this format? 1v1 exploration is just so gross. But that's the nature of things. So big fan of the commander. Let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.